White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London stand. White and blue running through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains. The cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground. Echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time. We march on through grit and grime. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oldham, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Deadline Day. This is it, the last day of the transfer window. I'm Big James. I'm your host. I'm taking you through the first half an hour, 45 minutes of the transfer window on THFC till we die. I hope you all are well. I want to start by welcoming some of the chat. There we go. We have, let's have a see. We have Carl Simpson saying, "Morning, Dermo." Unfortunately, it's not Dermo, it is me. Let the players in commence. Worky will have to be ignored today as not happy with the 7 p.m. deadline. It ruins my evening. Yeah, it kind of does. It's a bit of a strange one to change our end window. It's been 11 o'clock for, God, as long as ever I can remember when windows started. I don't understand the essence of changing it to 7 o'clock. I just think it puts more pressures on clubs. We also have Starman floating in the sky. He says, "Come on, you Spurs. Hi, Dermo. Off to get an MOT. We'll be listening. Let's hope we get another 2 through the door today." Well, let's hope, Starman. We do have some news coming very soon about players. We also have the big Wayne Bonner who says, "Good morning, everyone. Hope you are well." So how many players does everyone think we'll get, if any? I am thinking 2 or 3, Wayne. 2 or 3. And Carl says 3 or 4, Wayne. Bookmark this, it is coming. Wayne also says, damn Carl, now that's optimistic. Definitely need a striker, left wing back, and a left back, and a centre back. I'm going to say the entrance song always says makes him want to Top Gun it. I love it, Carl. I actually love the intro song. I rock out every time we start on it, and he says, "Morning, James. Good morning." Right, so let's get straight into some of the deadline day news that is literally coming hard and fast, and we are just like bombarded with the amount of players that we could be signing today. If we sign this, we've got third team because early on in the window, yeah, we had everything. Now it is a third team we could put together with all the players we're linked to on deadline day. So the ones that I think, I'm not going to go through all the rumours. I'm not. There's no point going through every single rumour. You guys will know. You guys will understand some of the rumours, and some of them are just absolutely ridiculous. We're not going to get them. So let's look at the players who we could potentially sign. Yesterday, it was reported that Ademola Lookman had been given permission to fly to London if and when a acceptable offer from Tottenham or any English club was made. Around about 7 o'clock yesterday evening, it was reported that he was in the airport waiting for a flight. Now you can read into that as you will. As far as I'm aware, no official bid has been made to Atlanta in regards to Ademola Lookman, but it is a player that we are putting some serious consideration into. He is a diverse attacking player, can play across all the front three, also can drop into the number 10 role, but he is predominantly an up-front player or an out-wide player if necessary. Now, would this be what kind of player that we want as somebody who's a bit more adaptable to playing multiple positions, so it gives him the chance to get game time? And certainly with news that is coming out of Tottenham this morning is about Dominic Solanke. Now, Thomas Frank did state in his pre-match press conference against Bournemouth that Dominic Solanke had a niggle in his ankle and he just wasn't right. This has now been investigated further, and it looks like it could require surgery, and it could be a longer term out, a longer time out than first initial. I can't speak this morning. It's too early. First thought. We'll just go with that one. I can't think of the word I was going to use. Yeah, so he could be out for a bit longer than first thought. So a striker is definitely needed because we can't put it all on Rich's shoulders. I'm not taking anything away from the 2 good games that Richie had at the start of the season. He played well against Man City and he played well against Burnley, but he just did not show up against Bournemouth. So I think another striker, another attacker, or someone who can play across that front three like Lookman would be a good acquisition in regards to players in. Also, this one is literally hot into my inbox, is regarding Juventus' stance on signing Randall Kolo Muani. Now, I know we've been linked to him all window. I know we never seen it's one of those that seems to circulate. But Juventus are really, really struggling to meet Paris Saint-Germain's demands. Now, does this open the door for Spurs? Yes, I think it does open the door for Spurs. It could give us the option to slip in there and get a deal for Randall Kolo Muani over the line. Again, he is one of those kind of strikers, attackers that can play up front or can play in the number 10 or can play out wide either side. So again, a good addition to the squad if we are able to get this done. Now there's no kind of fees being talked about yet. This is just coming out. First thing this morning is that Juventus are struggling to get a deal with Paris Saint-Germain over the line due to Paris Saint-Germain's demands. They do not want to loan him out again. They loaned him to Juventus last season, as we know, and the deal was that it was a loan with an option. They didn't trigger the option. They've tried negotiating the price down. Paris Saint-Germain are very much firm on their stance of how much they want. It is in the range of Tottenham's wheelhouse with regards to the transfer budget that we have left. The transfer budget that we have left now, I did a little bit of digging, and a little bit of mathematical wizardry. Honestly, it was so intense. But given the players who we've signed, and given the players who have gone, and deals that have fallen through on players that have gone, who should have been gone. So Bissouma, Brian Hill, both still at the club. So money not coming in from them as of yet, but they are looking to be moved on by the end of this window. Is roughly round about £125 million left in the kitty to spend. So for me, 2 players for that kind of money. So 2 half decent, good quality players you can get for 125 million, and maybe a loan option, a loan on a third. Yeah, Wayne, I agree. Paris Saint-Germain knew Juventus wouldn't be able to afford the transfer fee. Moani gets stuck in the middle. If he seriously wants to go to Juve, he does want to go to Juve. He's made that perfectly clear. He stated that he wants to go to Juventus. He says that he only wants to go back to Turin, but it's looking less and less likely that he's going to get that done. So what else have we got this morning? So that is Paris Saint-Germain. What else have I got? So do apologise. I was going to write everything down, and then it all just got a little bit crazy right at the last minute, and I didn't sort of get everything in order. So another player that we're obviously looking at is Manuel Akanji from Man City. So that could be a cheap deal to sort of help give the centre-back cover. And I know Akanji can play left-back as well, so it would sort of tick two sort of boxes of players covering. Relatively cheap at £15 million is what I'm understood to get the deal done. It would be not a very long-term contract, obviously, because of his age, maybe a 2 to 3 year contract on that one. Carl, as far as I'm aware, yes, they are progressing with a deal for Openda. I don't believe it is signed, sealed and delivered, but I do believe they are more in an advanced stage of getting the Loic Openda deal done, because Juve are pivoting away from the difficult task of negotiating with Paris Saint-Germain. I also want to welcome in Hodgod. Morning, Hodgod. Hope you're well, sir. Big up. Something not a bit awry there. So if we sign Akanji, do you think that clears Ben Davies to leave? No, I think we'll keep Ben Davies purely because of he classifies now as a homegrown nation player, and given the fact that our actual younger players and our homegrown quota for Champions League squad, Premier League squad, because what we don't want is we don't want another season of like last year where we had to submit a reduced squad for the Europa League. So I think he will kick around and stay. I think Thomas Frank sees him as sort of like his number one backup. Wayne Bonner Green there. He says, I think we'll keep Davis for his covering for his experience. Agreed, Wayne. Absolutely. So what's the most realistic forward signing today, Hot God? Probably Ademola Lookman. That is probably your most realistic one. He is ready to go. He wants to go. He wants to leave. He's handed Atlanta know he wants to leave. The deal is quite reasonable. The money being quoted for Lookman is somewhere in between 40 to 50 million pound. That is not euros. That is pounds, not euros. I work in pounds. I'm English. I have to work in pounds. So yeah, it's one of those. Ademola Lookman is probably more likely of out of all the deals that is certainly for an attacking player. Also, just this one may get people excited, but I know I know this one's been rumbling on all summer as well, and that is the Savinho deal for Manchester City. Now, Manchester City has stated that they don't want to sell Savio. They want him. They don't want to sell him. They wanted him to keep him at the club. So the last update I got regarding that was Savio's agent had instructed the player to go hand in a written transfer request. Now, I must stress, guys, that a transfer request does not automatically mean he is available. It is a request from the player to be transfer listed. A club can reject the transfer request. Of course they can. They can just say, no, you're under contract. We are keeping you. But it does run the risk of making the player unhappy as well. So sorry, I'm getting messages come through as we speak as well, guys. So I do apologise. I am looking down, and it's just a little update on Lookman. So the little update on Lookman that I've just been given is Tottenham have been given positive signs that Ademola Lookman will be available for them today if they're willing to commit to a permanent deal. So that is it. They contacted Atlanta last night, and they said to Atlanta, we really want to know what would be to get this deal done, and it would need to be a permanent deal. I mean, there is obviously the interest in Colomwani, and there is also still a little bit of interest in Wissa, because his obviously Bradford situation is still unresolved. I think he'll stay at Brentford, barring some major deal coming in for Vissa. I can't foresee him going through. I mean, I'm just looking at some of Lookman's numbers with Atlanta today. So in the 2022-23 season, I need to get my eyes tested. 33 games played, 15 goals, 9 assists. In the 23-24 season, 45 games played, 17 goals, 18 assists. And last season, 48 games, 28 goals, 7 assists. So he was player of the season 2 out of 3 of those years. And remarkably, the last season, he wasn't player of the season, and he had his best season. So let's have a see what else we've got going off in the chat. So Big Carl Simpson, Big Carl says, my personal opinion now is we have too many positions to get 75 million on Silvino is not worth it. Agreed. I think the budget would be too much decimated. And then and Chamu Van Vu says, can't see anything happening. Grim, Xavi is good, but not enough. We will lose Kudus during AFCON. Yeah, we will lose Kudus during AFCON, but hopefully by that point, Decky's back as well. So what else have we got coming in today? So obviously I've mentioned Verando Colomwani. That is going to dominate a lot of the headlines for the next few hours, guys. All this is gonna, if you Juventus have truly moved on from onto Lloyd Pender, the Rando Colomwani is gonna go forward. Morning, Paul Brown, big up. It says, good morning, Dermo James and the chat, all ready for a roller coaster ride. Absolutely ready for a roller coaster ride. I know I'm doing this nice early show, just trying to get you guys up to date and where we are and what was happening last night. I mean, I was up quite late last night, keeping an eye on things. Did anything develop overnight? So nothing really sort of developed. It was just sort of, again, a bit of rumblings. I know my source in the club was working up until late. I know it's awake now because it's deadline day, and it's going to be a busy day for everybody. It's very hard doing these shows on your own, I must admit. It'd be nice when Dermo does join me later on. So don't forget, guys, today we do have shows going throughout the day. So we've got this show now going off. I'm going to be running with you, like I say, for about 45 minutes. Also, we have got the show coming on at 2 with me and Dermo, taking us all the way up until 8 o'clock. That's a 6-hour stint. So please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button on the channel. It's very much appreciated. We do our best to give you all the right information. We don't just want to be one of these channels that blurt out junk and you guys don't trust what we're saying and what we stand for. I believe that this is probably one of the best Tottenham channels on YouTube for the information that gets given. And unlike some other ones, I'm not saying any names, that they just seem to go with generalized news reports that will just keep spinning the yarn of, oh, we're getting this, we're getting this, we're getting this, we're getting this. But yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe button. Don't miss the show later on today at 2 o'clock when it is me and Dermo, where we will both be on and bouncing us through all the way to the deadline at 8 o'clock. And then Dermo is on from, I believe it's from 10 till 11 as he counts down the close of window. So just while we're talking about this, let's have a look at what is going off in the Premier League. Now, guys, I'm going to say most of these I'm going to be getting from Sky Sports and different other news articles that are out there. So these are probably just going to be rumours. So we'll start with Manchester United in talks over potential goalkeeper signing with I believe that's Emilio Martinez and Royal Antwerp goalkeeper Sene Lamens. So Man United looking for a goalkeeper. Man City are closing on signing Gianluigi Donnarumma from Paris Saint-Germain, as they see it as a upgrade on Ederson and Trafford. I mean, I've got to feel sorry for Trafford personally. He's gone there thinking he's going to be number 2, and he's not really hit the ground running, has he? Also, what else we've got? Aston Villa in Jadon Sancho loan talks. They're looking at trying to take Jadon Sancho from Manchester United on a season-long loan. West Ham's Palmieri close to a Marseille move. Who else we got? So Sunderland have agreed to deal with RB Leipzig for right back Luttrell Gertruder. It's a loan with an option to buy him permanently. Gertruder is landing in the UK imminently. Sunderland are also in talks with Ajax over striker Brian Brobbery. Sunderland need a striker after Mark Gui was recalled by Chelsea. I mean, that's a bit harsh on Sunderland. They get a player on loan at the start, near the start of a window, and then all of a sudden Chelsea recall him. This is why I think clubs need to be very careful about when getting recall contracts into loan deals, because clubs can just pull it back and it can completely decimate your plans for the day, for the season. So I mean, if Sunderland can get Gertruder over the line, I've seen him play. He's a tidy striker, a tidy right back. He's strong. He's powerful. He's not going to be a pushover, and I think he's got the physicality to sort of survive in the Premier League. Who else have we got? So AC Milan defender Alex Jimenez has completed his Bournemouth medical. The defender is joining an initial loan with an obligation to buy him. So that looks like that deal is near enough complete. Manchester United agree a 21.7 million deal to sell Anthony to Real Betis. I think they need to sell. I think they spent far too much money, Manchester United, this summer. Also, Sky Sports asking if Mark Geahy could actually stay at Crystal Palace. Florentino Lewis is having a medical in Manchester this morning ahead of a loan move from Benfica to Burnley. That's the midfielder for Burnley. A lot of loan deals being going out early morning. Newcastle remain in talks with Brentford over Juan Wissa deal. I'm not sure on that one. I'm not sure if that deal will get done or whether there'll be more heartbreak for Newcastle in the transfer window. Now, I did just get a message, so just bear with me. Let me just see what. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm just bouncing between things. This unfortunately is live. This is how I unfortunately operate. Just while I'm thinking, let's have a look. What else? So no AFCON for Ghana. Is that right, Chamu? Ghana didn't qualify for the African Cup of Nations. So that'd be good if they didn't. And Wayne Bonner asks, does Mainu still want out? If so, I'd look at getting him in. So by all intended purposes, Kobe Mainoo does want out of Manchester United, but I just don't think Manchester United want to let him go. So that's where we stand on that one. Yes, he could be a good thingy, but Manchester United are gonna slap a massive price tag on it, and he's an Englishman, and will probably pay the English tax, and it's probably going to cost us too much for we wouldn't get it done. It'd be one of those. It'd be like another Savio deal. It'd just destroy all his budget, and it wouldn't give us anything left. Anything left in the budget to. Yeah, I know. It wouldn't give us anything left to strengthen the squad up. That's what I'm trying to say. So sorry guys, I'm just trying to get some confirmation on something here. Okay. Just 1 second, guys. Hi guys, sorry about that. Life thing. So it is actually a little bit of a transfer update for you. So Tottenham Hotspurs have now submitted a £26 million bid for Randall Kolo Muani. Now, whether or not this deal is accepted, but we've submitted a £26 million bid to Paris Saint-Germain. It's a developing story, so yeah, we'll keep his eye on that one. There are other clubs said to be interested. Like we know Juventus are interested. Juventus are interested in him as well. I think it'd be a good buy. I think he'd be an excellent player for us. So getting him and Ademola Lookman, Akanji, I mean, that's less than 100 million just from those 3 players. And like I said, I reckon we've probably got about 150 million left to go spend. So it's going to be exciting to see. So yeah, I'm just looking now, and Rob Guest from Football.London, and I know he works very close with Ali Gold, and he's basically saying that the best and worst case scenario for Tottenham: Lookman to Tottenham, Kolo Muani to Tottenham, Kanji to Tottenham, Morgan Rogers to Tottenham. I don't know where we're putting all these attacking players. And who else does he say? Brian Hill, Yves Basuma out. Yeah, I mean, that would be an absolutely amazing sort of end to a transfer window, but far too many attacking players to fit them all into the team. Also, Dane Scarlett. Yeah, now that's an interesting one. I'd like to know what the chat thinks to that. Dane Scarlett. Do you think we should loan him out, or do you think we should keep him in the first team squad? Good morning, Renier. Thank you for the sub. Really much appreciated. Love the fact that you are from South Africa. Hope you are well, and big up. Don't forget, we're going to be back on at 2. That's UK time. I know, Carl. I'm the same. I get very giddy deadline day. It's one of it's so frustrating, but it's also one of my favourite times as well. Solomon will be gone as well. I think he will, but I'm unsure of his destination. And I think, and Wayne Bonner says, I think the club will leave alone or at some point sell him on, and that's he's talking about Dane Scarlett. Yeah, Carl, I agree. Daniel Scarlett or Dane Scarlett, I think it's a bit of an autocorrect on his phone. Sell, he isn't good enough, and Lancashire is already showing his levels above banging in goals for Oxford. Yeah, did you see his latest one for Oxford? That was a blinder as well. And Giant68, big up Giant, and welcome along. He says, isn't Dane Scarlett a striker? If we don't get a quality striker in, need to keep him at least until January. Yeah, that is a possibility, but with the amount of players that we are looking at up on that front line, if we can get 1 or 2 in, I don't think he would be needed, and probably a loan would be better to keep his development. And Wayne Bonner saying Lancashire, I'd keep. He has a massive future. He has a future at the club. Yeah, I think Will Lancashire is probably. Look, I'm not getting too ahead of myself here, but I think he's probably going to be the next Harry Kane. He's going to spend quite a few years out on loan, and then he's going to burst onto the scene, and he will really push on. So what else have we got before I disappear for a couple of hours and get myself ready for the big show? I don't want to talk myself too hoarse this morning. Let's have a see. Yeah, that's, I know, and I've told you about. I think that's about as up to date, really. I don't think there's much more developing really at the moment. Like I say, we definitely need a striker with. Excuse me. We definitely need a striker with Dominic Solanke's injury now. Needing surgery, so I think that was more serious than what it is. Wayne Bonner agrees with me. He says, yep, I see Lancashire as being our next Harry Kane. And Carl Simpson says, be careful, James. Sherwood will say he discovered Lancashire. Yeah, he will. So Sherwood really does frustrate me sometimes. Like I saw some of the comments after the Bournemouth game where he was just tearing into, who was it that he tore into? Lucas Bergvall. He was tearing into Lucas Bergvall of all players, and I was like, hang on a second here. Lucas Bergvall was probably, when he came onto the pitch, was probably one of the more proactive sort of players. And seemed to actually want to try and influence the game. But I didn't understand what Tim Sherwood was banging on about, to be fair. How long's Dom out for, Wayne Bonner? I don't know. Nothing's been reported yet. He's been sent to see a specialist where he may have to undergo surgery. That's the word in that he said to me. Dominic Solanke is going to have to go see a specialist. He may need to undergo surgery on the ankle ligament issue that has been niggling all summer. So I can't give you any more info other than that. If I get any more info before the 2 o'clock show, of course, when the 2 o'clock show comes on, when it's me and Dermo, of course, I will give you an update on that one. So yeah, that is probably going to be it for me for now, boys and ladies. Yeah, I agree. Wayne Bonner, Sherwood is a prick. Probably jealous that Bergvall will be better than he ever was. Bergvall's better than he ever was now, in my opinion. That is in my opinion. I think Bergvall should be given a little bit more credit and a bit more game time. And yet, Carl, you're right. There is a reason Sherwood is nowhere near manager. Yeah, because he was crap as a manager. He didn't really know how to do any kind of managing at all. So that is your good morning deadline day update. I will be back at 2 with Dermatron, like I said, and we will be going all day from 2 o'clock until the window slams shut. We will be giving you breaking news. We'll be keeping you updated about everything that's going on. It is quite early yet, and things are happening. Things are moving quite quickly, and hopefully by 2 o'clock we will have at least seen 1, maybe 2 players through the door. If any players come through the door, or we get confirmation of a player signing, either me or Dermo will come on and we will try and break it, but it is happening. It may just be a short release video. It may be just a quick live to tell you that this player is coming. So keep an eye on your phones. I know everybody works, guys. I appreciate the people working. Can't offer it. I am very blessed that 51 of you have tuned into me this morning. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I don't believe any other YouTube channel does anything like this, like our deadline day coverage. We are just trying to do something different, trying to give you guys the best information, trying to give you guys, the fans that keep me and Dermo doing this job, the best information and the utmost up-to-date information that we can, because we think as Spurs fans, you guys deserve it. I would love to work from home, Carl. I do work from home, but I don't get paid for this. I don't get paid for this. But guys, thank you very much for joining me this morning. Much appreciate it. And I will be, like I say, we will be back at 2. So as for now, have a good day and we will see you soon. Oh, hang on now, because that is not our outro. Let's do this one. Goodbye.